Everyone tells you to hustle harder. Did you know? They're wrong. 4 ancient teachers knew the truth. Yet, modern science is just proving it. So, here's the truth. Your goals feel impossible for one reason. You're starting in the wrong place. Great thinkers from Rome knew this secret. Ben Franklin used it every day. You see, success starts with tiny steps, not big jumps. New brain research shows they were right. But here you are, same goals as last year, just watching others get ahead. What if I told you successful people actually work less than you? Don't click away, or you'll miss the simple technique that actually works. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what ancient people did every day. It only takes 2 minutes. It stops the stress, it ends the waiting, and it works fast. You'll get more done in 30 days than you did all year. Accomplishing your goals, dreams, and heart's desires starts right now. You know that feeling when, well, you want to change your life, but the goal feels impossible. It's like trying to move a mountain with your bare hands. Maybe it's that business you want to start, that skill you've been meaning to learn, or just becoming the person you know you could be. We all have our mountains, but here's what nobody tells you. Every mountain that's ever been moved started with someone picking up one small stone, and there's ancient wisdom passed down through centuries that shows exactly how to do it. Not through giant leaps or superhuman effort, but through something much simpler and much more powerful. There's this saying that's been around forever. The person who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Sounds nice, right? But what does it actually mean for your life? Think about it. Nobody writes a bestseller in a day. Nobody gets fit in a week. Nobody masters a language in a month. But here's where it gets interesting. Those small actions, they compound, almost like interest in a bank account. But for your life, one page of reading becomes a chapter. One chapter becomes a book. One book becomes expertise. And before you know it, you're the person who just knows things. I met someone who wanted to learn guitar, but felt overwhelmed by all the chords and techniques. So they made a deal with themselves. Just 5 minutes a day. That's it. And 1 year later, they were playing full songs at family gatherings. Not because they were exceptional, but because they picked up small stones one at a time. Your small stones might be different. Maybe it's sending one email, walking around the block, reading one article. The magic isn't in the size. It's in the picking up. And here's the beautiful part. Each small stone you carry builds more than just progress. It builds self-reliance and confidence. This kind of diligence and integrity is what people notice and respect. Okay, but let's be real. How do you start picking up stones when literally anything else seems more appealing, more relaxing, more fun? After all, the comfort of your bed is calling your name. Or what about watching that new movie? Well, the Buddhists figured this out thousands of years ago. They said something that sounds almost crazy to our modern ears. Striving should be your delight and pleasure, day and night. Wait, what? Did they just say work should be fun? Here's the plot twist. It's not about the work itself. It's about what happens to you while you're doing it. Remember when you were learning to ride a bike? The wobbling, the falling, the scraped knees. But then, remember that moment when suddenly you're flying down the street with the wind in your hair. The struggle. Well, it was part of the magic. When you're learning Spanish, don't just think about being fluent someday. Notice how your brain literally creates new neural pathways with each word. When you're working out, just feel how your body is getting stronger in real time. When you're building your business, celebrate the tiny wins, like your first follower or your first dollar earned. This isn't toxic positivity. The truth is, some days will suck, but when you find moments of joy in the journey, something shifts. You stop fighting the process and start dancing with it. But here's where it gets deeper. The Bhagavad Gita drops this mind-blowing truth. You have a right to perform your duties, but you're not entitled to the fruits of your actions. I know, this sounds backwards, right? Work hard but don't expect results? Well, here's what they really meant. When you're too attached to outcomes, every setback becomes a crisis. Like the market crashes, your startup gets delayed, or you plateau at the gym. Suddenly, you feel like all your efforts were worthless. This, my friend, is where most people quit. They just plain give up. But when you focus on the work itself, on doing it well, and growing through it, something magical happens. You become unstoppable. How could that be? Well, it is not because you don't care about results. It's because your happiness isn't held hostage by them. Sometimes life throws you curveballs, like getting sick, facing a tough economy, or needing to be there for your family. It is during these tough times, when your self-worth isn't tied to specific outcomes, then these become detours, not dead ends. So you adapt, persist, and you simply find another way to pick up stones. It's that easy. Now here's where ancient wisdom gets practical. Pretty much every culture that survived has some version of this truth. The Bible puts it bluntly, lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. And yes, this includes actual financial stability. The person who consistently shows up to work, who methodically builds their skills, who becomes known as reliable. They create their own security. But it's bigger than money. It's about the wealth of becoming who you're meant to be, the wealth of self-respect, the wealth of capability. And isn't that what we all truly want? Now, here's the warning the ancients also gave us. Even diligent hands need rest. Even the earth takes winter off. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's a failure to understand the rhythm of sustainable growth. True diligence includes diligent rest. It means working deeply, then recovering fully. It's not about grinding yourself to dust. It's about showing up consistently over time. The person who works 12 hours straight isn't more diligent than the one who works 4 focused hours and then rests. Marathon runners don't sprint the whole way. They pace themselves for the long journey. So here's what the ancients from every culture agreed on. Small actions compound into big results. Joy in the journey sustains you. Non-attachment to outcomes frees you. And balance keeps you going for the long haul. The mountain doesn't actually get smaller. You get stronger. The path doesn't get easier. You get better. And one day, you'll look back and realize you didn't just move the mountain. You became someone who moves mountains. That's incredible, isn't it? Your mountain is waiting. Maybe it's been waiting for years. And that's okay, because your first stone, that tiny, manageable, almost laughably small first action, it's waiting too. So what's it gonna be? That one paragraph? That one phone call? That one walk around the block? Whatever it is, make it so small you can't say no. So simple, you'd feel silly not doing it. Remember, you're building more than just results. You're building resilience and self-reliance. This kind of quiet confidence comes from knowing you can trust yourself to show up. Hey, before you go, I want to know, what's your small stone going to be? Seriously, drop it in the comments below. Maybe it's writing for 5 minutes every morning, or doing 1 push-up before bed, or sending an email that you have been putting off. Here's why writing your action step in the comments matters. When you write it down publicly, you're 42% more likely to actually do it. Plus, you might inspire someone else who's been stuck at the base of their mountain. And look, we all know someone who needs to hear this right now. That friend who's been talking about their dream forever, but feels too overwhelmed to start. That family member who's stuck in analysis paralysis. Do them a solid. Share this video. Sometimes the right message at the right time changes everything. If this ancient wisdom hit home for you, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Because here's the thing, this is just the beginning. We're diving deep into timeless wisdom from every corner of the world. Next week, we'll explore what ancient philosophers knew about overcoming fear that modern psychology is just catching up to. But here's my challenge for you right now. Pick your stone. Write it in the comments. Then actually do it today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Even if it's 10 p.m. and you're in your pajamas. Especially then, because a year from now, you'll wish you started today. And the ancients, they're all rooting for you. Your future self is rooting for you. Heck, I'm rooting for you. Remember, every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. Every mountain mover once picked up their first stone. See you in the comments. Let's move some mountains together.